Taco Bell game reset, second inning. Bases loaded. Matt Morris at the plate, and he hits one about 30 feet. Aaron Cook tried to field it, and everybody's safe. 1-0 San Francisco, but the Giants would get back in the top of the third inning. Morris tried to get the force at third. That didn't work out. Error on Feliz for not catching it. Cook comes home. He had singled earlier. Feliz was not going to get Taveras. And then a double by Garrett Atkins scored a run. Matsui scored, and Hop with a sacrifice fly to right center brought home Todd Helton. 2 errors in the inning for San Francisco. Rockies took advantage. They lead it 4-1. Here's Kaz Matsui against Matt Morris in the 5th, and the curveball way up high, ball 1. Drew Goodman, George Frazier from AT&T Park in gorgeous San Francisco. And this ball is roped to right. Lewis is going to get over there. One out, and that'll bring up Matt Holliday. Affleck trivia question. What's the Duck got for us this evening? Who was the last Giant other than Barry Bonds to lead the league in home runs? Got an idea, Frage?
Stretch. Willie.
Swing by
Jeff
Holliday.
Leonard.
Yeah, there's
Mitchell.
a name. Kevin Mitchell was an MVP with the Giants.
Throwing some names out there.
What was it, 89 he was the MVP? The year they went to the series with
that I couldn't tell you. Jeffrey Leonard hit a lot of home runs. One flap down.
This ball down the left field line. Extra bases for Matt Holliday. Bonds has to field it out of the corner, and then he bobbles it once. Holliday thought about going to third, and now he'll come back to second. So a 1-out double for Holliday, his 18th double of the year, among the league leaders in that category as well.
I'm trying to say, there's that slow curveball again, except Holliday's such a good hitter. You just don't go to the well that often. You got to mix it up. Prevent him from getting into your pattern, because he'll make you pay for it as he does here. And Bonds bobbled. Drew mentioned he had that opportunity as he came into second base after Barry bobbled it, maybe to turn it up and risk it, but no reason to with 1 out. Holliday and Helton at the plate.
Todd drives one foul down the left field line. .6'2" and 230 pounds when spring training started for Helton, and he tries to get in at least a few weight workouts during the week, trying to maintain that weight. It's one of the difficult things about the game of baseball. Every day there's a game. Every day there's preparation for the game in terms of BP and stretching and getting the arm ready. But in addition to that, you have to maintain your cardiovascular fitness and your strength fitness. Your strength, and that means sometimes after ball games, working out in the weight room late at night. That's why this game is a grind.
You know, and a lot of people say that. They'll say it's a grind. I think it's a grind if you let it get to be a grind. If you're on a winning team, you're having good years, it's never a grind. It's when everybody, when you start losing games, you're not winning, then it becomes a grind. You know what I mean? It's kind of,
well,
when you're winning, man, you're ready to go. I mean, it's kind of like every day I feel privileged walking into a big league ballpark, riding a bus in here, got a good attitude typically, and try to do the best job I can up here every day. And I think you do too, and I think a lot of players are that way. But man, if you get on a bad ball club and there's a lot of suspicion around the club of whether this guy's traded or that guy's fired or whatever, then it's not much fun to come to work every day.
But whatever adjective you want to apply to it, it is a lot of work for these guys. This ball is yanked foul. I mean, it is 8 months, day in and day out. And you get a day off here and there. And it's not just how demanding it is physically to play this sport every day and prepare to play it every day. It's the mental grind.
Well, you know what, too, and I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking back, and I'm thinking even today now, too, is it how things can be. You know what it is more than anything with an athlete? Once they get into a routine, regardless of what it is, if they get off the routine, they think they're cheating themselves. Whether it's going to the diner to eat breakfast, I went 0 for 4 and I didn't eat at the diner. Oh, man, I got to go eat at the diner. Whatever the routine is, get to the park at 1, get to the park at 2, 3, go down and take 20 cuts in the cage, do my normal BP stuff, go ride the treadmill, not ride the treadmill. I mean, all those things that a player does, and every player has a different routine. Every player has a different way to get himself going and to perform at their highest level. Some guys are weight room guys. Some guys are jog. Some guys a few cuts down in the cage, off the tee, whatever those things are. But it's a routine that they get locked into. And once they deviate off that routine, then all of a sudden that's when they think they're shortcutting themselves, regardless of what it is, whatever that routine is.
One and two. Todd's got one of those at-bats going where he's fouled off a myriad of pitches. In fact, Benji Molina went out to Matt Morris and said, "You have anything else?" I'm sure that's not what he said, but.
Well, that high fastball there, you maybe think about last night, it was a high fastball he struck out on, but that was against a left-hander. Well, all the way from 71 up to 88. A lot of those fastballs, those 82, 81s, those are fastballs he's taking something off of, trying to sink it down in a way. The pitches in the 70s are the slow curveballs.
This ball down the line, foul. Holiday at second with 1 out. He doubled. Rockies leading 4-1. Rockies trying to do something tonight they haven't done all year. And that's win 4 in a row. Top of 5. Strike 3. So Morris wins the 10-pitch battle with Helton.
Well, just a nasty pitch. I mean, this is a hard, I shouldn't say hard, it's a hard breaking curveball with not a lot of velocity in a perfect spot. Right on the outside corner. I mean, that's something Morris had to do with it. He did it, and he did it in a tough situation, already down 3 runs and a runner on second against a hitter that in his career had hit over 300 and had 3 home runs. Well, this is one guy that's hurt him in a game, Garrett Atkins.
And he goes breaking pitch again. It's 0-1 on Garrett. Garrett lined a double over the head of Omar Vizquela's last time up, and it rolled all the way to the warning track.
Well, Matt Morris, 2 strikeouts in the first inning. The next happening here in the 5th.
You know, when things aren't going well, George, you have to take, I suppose, consolation, or maybe a hard out will help return your confidence. And last night Atkins hit a couple of balls hard.
How about a line drive dead center field? His average dipped to 221. Coming into today's ball game, that hit has raised it to 224.
And Atkins hits this hard, but right at the center fielder, Randy Wynn. Holiday left on board in scoring position. Rockies leading middle of 5, 4-1. The majestic Golden Gate Bridge off in the background, and it seems like 3/4 of the time you see a shot of the Golden Gate, it's in the fog. Golden Gate opened at high noon on May 28th, 1937. So in 2 days, we'll celebrate the 70th anniversary of the Golden Gate. It took 4 years to build, and back then it cost a whopping $35 million. It's 1.7 miles long, and the towers rise 746 feet. As Morris takes another strike, 0-2. 746 feet above the water, and the water in that section of the bay 400 feet deep.
You know, it's amazing. You go down to the wharf, you see the water. I mean, you can tell there's a current out there. But as you get outside the bridge, you take a tour of it, you get outside the bridge, and all of a sudden the waves get about 10, 12 feet high. And I mean, they're rough, trying to come back in again. And then put down inside the wharf, I mean, yeah, there's a current, but you don't see the size of waves.
Morris is gone. That's the first strikeout of the ball game. I can guarantee you one thing, George, whether
you're not going
it's
out
July or August or any other time of year, I don't care if it's 90 degrees out, that's not the water you want to go in.
No.
It is cold.
That doesn't change.
And it's rough.
But there's a lot of big fish out there with big sharp teeth
that I don't want to meet. Randy Wynn will step up. Randy's 0 for 2, ground ball to second. Then he gave Tulowitzki a shot, ground ball to short. Checking the National League scoreboard. Dodgers lost at home to Carlos Zambrano and the Cubs 4-2 today. Ramirez, DeRosa home runs. Bettamy hit a home run for Los Angeles. Philly beat Atlanta 6-4. Curveball for a strike. Hey, if you have a break in your windshield, take it to Elite Auto Glass #1 for more than one reason. Mets picked up another game on Atlanta. 7-2 winners down in Florida. The Mets now 31-17. Delgado a couple of home runs there. Pittsburgh won in, well, actually they're about to win. It's 9-4 in Cincinnati late, 9th inning. St. Louis leading in the 9th inning 8-6 over Washington, and they've been delayed by rain. 0-2 on Wynn. Curveball in the dirt.
Hey, by the way, Scouts Day is coming up again at the ballpark. A lot of the Scouts troops, they've enjoyed this day. It's June 16th. Pick up the phone, call the Rockies, 303 Rockies for more information. Participation includes a pregame on-field ceremony for all Scouts and a Scout patch.
Bouncing ball to Tulowitzki. And Todd stayed on the bag, 2 outs.
Yeah, one of the few times I got Tulowitzki just kind of threw a hard old country fashion sinker over there. Normally it's on the line on a bead, helping able to figure it out and make the catch on it.
Houston, Arizona, George tied at 1 in the 3rd inning. And the Padres have a 2-0 first inning lead on Milwaukee. Mike Cameron has hit his 4th home run. Here's the kid, Fred Lewis. Fred a comebacker, and he walked in the 3rd. Leading off the 3rd, he was erased on a double play ground ball off the bat of Ryan Klesko right behind it. 1-0 on Fred. American League, Yankees lost again, George. The Angels won in the Bronx 3-1 today.
Well, Joe Torre's safe. Brian Cashman is not. Steinbrenner was quoted in the paper to say he's on the big hook. I mean, a hook's a hook. Doesn't have to be big or small. If you're on it with Steinbrenner, it's not a thing you want to be on.
All right. I don't know, how many innings has Cashman pitched this year, George?
Well, not very many. That doesn't really matter. You can't fire the players. You can only fire the people in charge, and that's what George typically does. Fire you, give you a 5-year contract, and rehire you again.
3-0 on Fred Lewis. Cleveland won again. They beat Detroit 6-3. The Indians are 30-17. Victor Martinez a home run, his 6th. DeLucci at his 2nd. And another walk to Fred Lewis. Two outs. That'll bring Ryan Klesko up. It'll also take us to our Affleck trivia question. Looking for the last Giant not named Bonds to lead the National League in home runs. So you're going to go with Willie McCovey?
I didn't know I went with McCovey. I just threw out a whole bunch of names that could have been. Matt Williams, how about that?
We forgot about Matt Williams, didn't we?
Sure did.
Hit 43 in '94. Now works with the Arizona Diamondbacks, where he finished his career. Klesko takes a strike on the outside corner at 93 miles an hour. Seattle beat Kansas City 9-1. Royals were playing good baseball. They've now lost 3 straight. One and one. Jojamin Sexton had home runs there. 8-8 in the 9th inning. Minnesota and Toronto in Minneapolis. Baltimore leading in the 9th 8-3 over Oakland. And Boston leading Texas 7-4 in the 7th. Here's the 1-1 down low, 2-1.
I'll take a look at Aaron Cook's pitches by innings. He's had some short ones, and he's mixed in a couple of long ones. 19 twice. 11 in the first, 8 back in the third, 15 here in the fifth, 72 total. All that brought to you by Sonic.
He's right on schedule, George. You always use that 15 pitch.
Yep. You don't like to get much over that.
Barometer.
Yeah, that's right. You don't like to get a lot over that. If you go 15 pitches per inning, you're going to work fairly deep into the ball game.
Shattered bat, and the flip from Matsui to Tulowitzki ends the fifth. We go to the sixth inning. Rockies in control, 4-1. Let's take a look at tonight's Panasonic Plasma Speed of Sports. Brian Fuentes last night nailing down his 10th save of the month. 14th overall for Brian Fuentes and the Rockies. Come from behind 5-3 winners last night. Panasonic Plasma Speed of Sports. And the leadoff man in the sixth inning will be Brad Hopp. Brad, a productive evening thus far. A single in the second and a sac fly in the third. 27th RBI for Hopp. That pitch is in the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Morris, Aaron Cook still out there. Rockies have out-hit the Giants 6-4. Yeah, a 5-3 win last night for the Rockies. Snapped a 4-game winning streak for San Francisco. Easy play for Klesko. As Morris got Brad Hopp out front. Fuentes leads the big leagues in saves. Trevor Hoffman is next with puts of Seattle. And Saito. Major league saves in the month of May.
Best part is it's not over. The month of May, you got a shot to get a few more.
Yeah. Tulowitzki hits it in the air to deep right field. And on the track, Lewis retires Tulowitzki. Troy 1 for 3. And that'll bring up Yorvit Torrealba. Well, George, how about this? The Rockies have 11 wins in May, which means that Fuentes has saved 10 of their 11 wins.
It tells you also in a lot of save situation, which means the winning or tying run has to be in the on-deck circle. So again, tight ball games late.
And that's what you're going to play. You know, it's not just this year. You're going to winning teams are going to play a lot of those games, and you have to come out on top in your fair share. I just think it is exaggerated this year because of the great starting pitching in the National League West. I mean, look, you got Morris tonight. This is a guy who's 3rd in the National League in the last half dozen years in wins, behind Roy Oswalt and Greg Maddux. And tomorrow you get Noah Lowry. It's no picnic. There's no day where you go, oh man, this guy, where was he pitching? I never heard of him. Was he in AAA last week?
Yeah, 269 earned run average for Noah Lowry, 5-4 overall record in his 9 starts. The Rockies will go home on Monday. They pick up Kip Wells, 2-8 on the season with an earned run average over 6. Man. Most consistent guy for the Cardinals this year, Braden Looper, 6-3. He'll go on Tuesday. Anthony Reyes, 0-8.
Is he 0-8?
Brad Thompson, 2-1. Yep, Anthony Reyes, 0-8, 6.08 earned run average. You get 2 starters against the Cardinals with a combined record of 2-16 and an earned run average above 6.
The last Anthony to be 0 in anything was Anthony Young. Remember with the Mets back about 15 years ago, he lost what, 21, 22 straight decisions over a couple of years.
Mike Ponarelli keeping the stats up here for us today, or yesterday and today, before he heads back to Denver. A lot of pitchers in the National League. They're either All-Stars, Hall of Famers, or Cy Youngs. And he's pretty close to it.
Morris been pounding the strike zone. Rockies got all 4 of their runs in the third when the Giants contributed or aided the Rockies' cause with a couple of errors. One by Feliz, one by Durham. This is bounced up the middle. And A nice job by Vizquel to throw out his former teammate in your Torrealba. Fans, Quest wants you to experience the ultimate in Rockies baseball. Enter the Quest Home Field Advantage contest. Win infield box seats, go on field for batting practice, and much more. Quest brings more Rockies into your life in more ways than ever. Drew Goodman, George Frazier from AT&T Park. Rockies ahead 4-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Barry Bonds will lead it off, and then it'll be Kevin Frandsen and Benji Molina. Bonds 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice in the ball game. Aaron Cook has allowed 4 hits. He's walked a couple. The lone run coming in the 2nd inning.
Let's see how aggressive Barry is early in this at bat against Aaron Cook before he was. With a hard slider to call the strike 1 to start him off with.
Today was picture day. There was no batting practice before the ball game. A ton of fans on the field. This is fouled off. Barry with the big swing. And Bonds was the last Giant to make his rounds out there with the fans. And obviously, he was the most popular as well, and he was out on the field for more than an hour, smiling away, taking literally hundreds of pictures with fans outside. There's Barry. Foul ball.
Yeah, you brought a glove with you, got a hand with you. I'll just use your head and ricochet it on off.
Pulled toward Helton, and Todd comes up with it. Nice play. So Bonds retired on a hard hit ball, but he has been able to elevate that sinker. I'm looking through the scorebook, George, and there's only been a couple of balls in the air. Molina hit a fly ball to center field. Frandsen hit a fly ball to right, and Vizquel hit a line drive to center field. That's it in terms of balls that were elevated.
Nice play by Todd Helton. You're only about 125 feet away from the plate area when that ball was hit by Barry Bonds, and let me tell you what, hit extremely hard, one hop, played it enough to put some leather and slow it down, snatch it up in the air, and make the play on it.
(1-0) to Kevin Frandsen. Aaron Cook held on to that one a little too long. It's 2-0.
Well, the wind changed here too, favoring the left-handed hitter now. It started to gust out into dead center and to right center.
If you have a break in your windshield, take it to Elite Auto Glass, #1 for more than one reason. 3-1 count on Kevin Frandsen. And Cook with his 3rd walk.
All right, the Reds will be in town June 1st. First 5,000 fans through the gates will receive the Player of the Homestand jersey T-shirt courtesy of Coors and the Rocky Mountain News. Go online to get your tickets for that ball game on June 1st.
Molina singled through the hole between short and third his last time up. Line drive, Todd Helton, step on the bag, double play. And just like that, the Giants are done in the 6th, and we move on to inning number 7. Rockies 4 and the Giants 1. Rockies ahead 4-1 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Aaron Cook will lead it off, and then the top of the order. Let's check our Esurance inside information. Each of the Rockies' last 3 sacrifice bunts have led to runs, and their 25 sac bunts this season are the most in baseball. They led baseball last year in that department. And you're going to have to play small ball to win some games, and that curveball slipped out of the hand of Matt Morris, and Aaron Cook's aboard for the 2nd time in the game.
I had a couple of fastballs, one right back at it that Morris fielded and able to throw him out, one that was a base hit. So, you know, I'll start him out with a curveball, and it didn't work. Hey, Saturday, June 2nd, take a picture of your favorite Rocky. Be at the ballpark at 3:15. Purchase your tickets online at ColoradoRockies.com.
Here's Willie Taveras. Willie will drag that bunt again. And once again, he stays at first.
He didn't touch the bag this time.
Franson trying to get over there. George, it's such a difficult play for a second baseman with his speed, because you have to get there, find the bag, as you suggest, and then obviously the baseball in the air. It's got to happen quickly.
Well, and Klesko clears himself. You go into now, he's just going to throw it. Oh, you know what?
He found the bag.
Yeah, he was fine. I'm not sure what
Willie just beat it.
Yeah.
He thought he was out?
Yeah. I mean, look, maybe I'm just trying to see. Here's the ball. The foot's on the bag. It's caught. It's in the glove.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out. And now Matsui puts the bunt down, and that's a beautiful bunt. Now let's see if this sac bunt leads to runs for Colorado. 2 in scoring position with 1 out from Matt Holliday. Well, the 3rd inning. Here's the bunt by Taveras. Everybody's safe, and then Matsui's going to lay down a bunt. Morris decided to try to go to 3rd. Throw not handled by Feliz. Run comes around. And the Rockies would end up scoring 4 in the inning. That didn't help either. Ray Durham with an error. Ray's out of the ballgame now. Atkins with a double. 2 on, in scoring position for Holliday. Inside on Matt, who doubled down the left field line his last time up. This ball ripped to left. Bonds coming on, and he stops it, but right on the heels of Cook is Willie Taveras. He almost caught him. A 2-run single from Matt Holliday, make it 6-1 Colorado.
And make it a 3 RBI night for Matt Holliday. Now with 37 RBIs on the season after that single to left.
That's a big hit in the late stages of a ball game.
And a lot of this, Barry Bonds down in left field. I mean, he started to go get this ball, but because there was so much top spin on it, that ball died early to left field.
I thought Barry did a good job keeping it in front, George. I thought it was going to get past him.
Well, I did too. See that top spin right here? Barry thinking about, all right, can I make a catch on it? And Barry able to react, keep the ball up against his chest, and prevent it from advancing anywhere. Now, Morris hadn't pitched that poorly. 93 pitches, 64 strikes. He's given up 8 hits in the ball game, 6 runs, only 2 of those earned.
Let's see if Clint puts Matt Holliday in motion. 1-0 with Helton at the plate, 5-run lead. Not running here, and this ball's fouled off. Matt had his 3rd stolen base of the season last night.
94 pitches, just mentioned that, 65 of those for strikes.
Holiday bluffs left center field, and Bonds will get over and make the catch. Holiday back to first, 2 outs. Kevin Correa is jogging down to the San Francisco bullpen. Matt Morris due up third next inning, so this in all likelihood will be the end of the line for Morris. Rockies ahead 6-1. A strike on Garrett Atkins. Crowd of 38,212 tonight. And it's popped up. Vizquel and Wynn, and Omar handles it. In the inning, the Rockies get 2 more. Matt Holliday, RBIs 36 and 37. 6-1 Rockies. By Gatorade, it's in the MLB. Is it in you? By Amco, AA, MCO. And by Southwest Airlines, with more flights to more places than ever before. Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwestairlines.com. Breaking pitch up high, ball 1 to Pedro Feliz. Rockies ahead 6-1. Aaron Cook trying to win for the 4th time this year against just 1 defeat. Aaron's allowed 4 hits in the ball game. That's it. He's walked 3. On the ground, deep in the hole, Tulowitzki. Can he throw him out? Good try by Tulowitzki. And it'll be an infield hit.
Feliz with a couple of hits in the ball game now. This ball over into the hole, and you know, Tulowitzki, do you plant and throw, or do you leave your feet and try to throw? You know, on target you get Feliz. I think maybe if he plants that back foot, that he'd had a shot at him, a better chance. Yeah, nonetheless a great play by Tulowitzki.
That's the first time that I can recall him trying to, you know, leap and throw it in one motion as opposed to planting and being able to really put something on it. But he's made all the plays and then some at shortstop, and this is rookie season. Mark Sweeney has come out on deck to pinch hit from Morris with Vizquel at the plate.
Sweeney on the season is average a $182, $183, but as a pinch hitter, .333, 5 for 15, a home run and 3 RBIs. Getting late in the game, 90th pitch of the ball game for, 91st pitch for Aaron Cook. Vizquel, the veteran, trying to work it out. It's a 5-run lead, pound the strike zone. Still that hard sinker moving in and out of the strike zone. Vizquel trying to work it to the hitter's count. The fastball there at 91 sinks away from Vizquel. Steve Klein, the left-hander, warming up down in the bullpen. Hop will lead off for the Rockies. Surprised you didn't have a little hot chocolate tonight, partner. It's a little chilly up here.
It is. No hot chocolate yet. Popped up. Short center field. Willie Taveras. That's the first out of the inning. So Vizquel is retired, and that'll bring up Old friend Mark Sweeney.
And I go back a little history on Sweeney. I mean, a lot of you know this, but Mark was out of baseball and was working out in the Phoenix area in the off season. Dwayne Espy saw him, talked the Rockies into bringing him to spring training. Went down to AAA, was swinging the bat extremely well, and was brought back to the big leagues. Was a very good pinch hitter for the Rockies. And then after a couple of years there, left through free agency and went and signed with the San Diego Padres. Now here with the San Francisco Giants.
He was very good in a Rockies uniform. And this is slowly hit. One play. Well, Matsui's going to get the force. What?
Well, Felice slowed down.
Doing?
Yeah, I think Felice slowed down because he thought he was going to catch the baseball and tag him. So he slowed down in hopes that Sweeney could beat it out and he wouldn't be able to make the play at second. And it worked in a bad way for Felice and the Giants because the lead runner is history. That's the only thing I can come up with here. I mean, it's just out of the reach of Cook. Then Felice just stopped. You know, and I still can't figure out why. And then as he came into second base, see right there, maybe he thought the ball was going to be in his way. I mean, I have no idea. The Giants have not played a pretty baseball game tonight. Two late chances at first on bunts, one by Durham, one by Fransden, a boot by Durham, a boot by Felice at third. 6 runs given up by Matt Morris in 7 innings, only 2 of those earned.
Fouled off by Randy Wynn. Jeremy Affeldt throwing for the Rockies. Asked Randy Wynn yesterday if he's called his buddy Steve Nash. He said, I'm going to wait a while longer. He said, I wouldn't want to talk to anybody if we just lost a playoff series. I'm going to wait a while.
Spend a little time and recoup. See how things go there. If you haven't bought your ticket to the Yankee series, you need to do it. They're going quickly, June 19th through the 21st. The New York Yankees arrive in Denver, Colorado for a 3-game series. Stop by your local dugout stores, King Supers. Go online, 1-800-388-ROCK, or just go online, ColoradoRockies.com.
Aaron Cook with his second strikeout of the ball game as he fans win. We'll go to the 8th, 6-1, Colorado. Valero energy to take you anywhere. 6th inning, Barry Bonds at the plate. He hits a rocket at Todd Helton. No problem, Todd. Able to come up with the baseball. And then the line drive right at him. He tags the bag. Double play. Energy to take you anywhere. Valero. Good defense from Helton. Steve Klein's on board now. The left-hander out of the Giant bullpen to take on Brad Hopp. Hopp, Tulowitzki, Torrealba. Top of 8. Rockies 6. Giants 1. Drew Goodman and George Frazier. And Hopp hits it a long way to left. Bonds going back. Still going back. And in front of the wall, he makes the catch. I'm telling you, last year, Barry doesn't make that catch.
No, and even today, it's a struggle for him. I mean, those cold temperatures can't be good for the knees and the achy joints, and not swinging the bat very well right now. And able to just continue to track this baseball, and even as he approaches 43, still a pretty good outfielder at times.
Tonight's call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Tulowitzki rips at that pitch and fouls it off. It's 0-1 on Troy.
Yeah, overall, Klein on the season, his 16th appearance, a couple of holes, a high earned run average. He's been beat up in a couple of ball games as a result of the high earned run average. He's given up a home run, 9 2/3, and has gone to the back seat behind Tashner in close ball games as far as a lefty coming in a situation to get that tough left-handed out. Sanchez, a lefty that was here earlier, has been sent back to the minor leagues to get stretched out and to start ball games. An electric arm, run it up to 95, 96. Good slider, good changeup.
You know who's pitching well in the Toronto organization now? Former Giant Jeremy Accardo.
Very well. A lot of strikeouts, utilizing the split finger that Righetti taught him here while he was here. Well, I'll tell you the other side of that is I think just kind of reading into what they need here to make them a better team is a bat, a middle infielder. And I think what they, obviously with this pitching staff, that anybody makes a trade with the Giants, they're going to ask for one of these pitchers. Now, you're not going to get Klein. You're not going to get Kane. You're not going to end up getting a Lincecum. You're not going to get Lowry. But you have a shot at an Ortiz. You have a shot at a Morris. And if they have to trade one of those two guys, a veteran guy to a veteran ball club, to get a guy that can swing the bat a little bit, package some stuff together, Sanchez would be a guy they would bring back and insert into the rotation.
I don't think there's going to be, with all due respect to Russ Ortiz, he has come back this year and pitched better than he has in the last couple of years, but he's been bounced out of the rotation. You're not going to get much for a Russ Ortiz.
No, but when you package guys together, if you throw a Russ Ortiz and a Matt Morris together, then you get something back in return. Matt Morris is 5-1 right now. It's all in the eyes of the beholder as you shake your head at me. He is 5-1 and knows how to pitch and win in postseason.
I think Morris maybe. Yeah. Ortiz, I'm not buying.
Well, that's good enough. A fan jumps out here and gets it, but as they said, the ball's up into the stands. Wally Bell, but you know, Lewis may have had a shot at it, may have not have. I don't think he would have.
3-2 on Tulowitzki. And you know what? It's not my chips. It's Brian Sabian's. George, this game is all about, and always has been about, pitching. I don't know if I move any of them. I mean, they have the makings of one of the top rotations in baseball.
Well, here's the problem you got if you're Sabian. He's on the last year of the contract. He's been told you're on the hook. You got to win or you're gone. And he's going to do everything in his powers to make this club better by the trading deadline, so they can at least get in the playoffs or be, you know, in contention, which they are. Don't get me wrong. Pretty quickly, and that's, you know, his name's out there is the guy that has to make the move, and in the past he's been able to make that move. One year is Wynn that they've got from Seattle.
See the guy,
Ray Durham another year, but they're going to have to make that move somewhere.
The guy who I think, if he continues to pitch the way he has, that you could get something for that you'd want, is the guy the Rockies will see tomorrow. There's a base hit for Tulowitzki, and that's Noah Lowry. Still a young arm. Now with a ton of ability, bouncing back from last year where he was hurt. I think Lowry would bring the most in return right now.
Well, that's not true either. Kane would bring the most.
Well,
he's not going to get rid of.
Right, of the guys you'd get rid of.
Right, that's not true, and I don't think Lowry's one of the guys they will part with. I think they'll part with some guys down in the bullpen and package it with one of the starters to get back what they need.
Yorvi Torrealba. And Yorvi gets hit by Klein, and now they jaw one another. What's that about? And we may have dugouts empty. Klein comes right near Torrealba, and for the first time this year, we have both dugouts emptying.
Now, Klein, a former state championship wrestler.
What was that about?
Yeah, they hit him in the back. It was a fastball, and then Torrealba stared at him, and I think the comment is that gets made then is, you know, what are you looking at? It just gets carried a little bit farther and farther, and you know, there's a frustration on Klein with a high earned run average where it is right now, and what he's got going on. But that frustration level boiled over a little bit.
I don't know if it goes back to last year. The Rockies and Giants had some testy moments a year ago, throwing at each other. Of course, Matt Cain hit Holiday a couple of times. Holiday jawed back at Cain.
And now Wally Bell, being the crew chief, is going to talk to Laz Diaz. All three umpires will convene in the middle of the field to see if there is an ejection that is warranted. I wouldn't think there would be. Well, maybe there is going to be. He's warning both benches. That's it. Handle it that way.
So runners at first and second. And Cook at the plate with 1 out. Now, George, I wasn't. You tend to follow these things a little closer. You're looking all over the field. Did Laz Diaz warn both benches?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the penalty phase of it. He just looked at Boach and looked over in the dugout over here and warned both benches.
Which really is only warning one bench, because now there will be no retaliation. That's going to go foul. Or if there is, it's like what happened during spring training. Jeff Francis ends up getting suspended, protecting his teammate.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, right now you just take care of it in a lot of different ways.
There's carryover.
You can also slide into second, put your shortstop in the left field if you want to. There's a lot of ways to handle things when people get hit.
Good bunt by Cook.
And they actually had a second baseman. Gover knew what to do that time. They got there in plenty of time. Cook was running. They were able to get him.
You know what? Now I recall, George, remember when Torrealba, it was 15-1, and Torrealba, because they weren't holding him on, just went to second. And then the next hitter for the Rockies got a base hit and scored, and Klein was jawing at Torrealba. Right. He was incensed. And we're wondering, were you working that game, or is that Jeff Houston?
Jeff was working it. You told me about it afterwards, that you know, the Giants were not happy with the fact that in a 15-1 ball game, you take off Trotton to second base.
And that was part of the story afterward. And the quote in the paper was Torrealba said, "What's Klein going to do?" Because Klein's all upset, and I don't understand why. Would you stop trying because you're down by a ton of runs? You still got to play. And Torrealba said, "What's Klein going to do? Hit me with his 84-mile-an-hour fastball?" Well, the answer is yes. That's what he's going to do, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Well, Rob Drake out at second base talking to Torrealba. I'm sure he's trying to investigate it, because tomorrow what they will do, if they feel that it's necessity to do it, they will tell both benches before the game ends, before the game starts tomorrow. Anybody comes in our eyes unnecessarily, there could be a chance to be tossed immediately. That has happened in baseball.
Two balls and a strike on Willie Taveras. I'd forgotten about that moment. To me, it seemed pretty silly. George, you were a relief pitcher.
I wouldn't care for it. If it's 15-1 and you're still running on me, I'm not going to be very happy about it.
You're up 15-1.
I don't care. I'm not going to be happy about it.
So therefore, the other team.
Look at it any way you want to. It's not Little League baseball. You're not going to score 12 runs in an inning and come back. I can guarantee you, in a big league ball game, you can run the history of it throughout the year, and you're down 14 runs. Very, if at all, are you going to come back? Little League baseball, junior
I'm
high,
not saying
maybe,
you're not going to come back, but therefore, if they don't hold you on, you still stay anchored at first base.
There is a little etiquette involved in it, yeah. That's just and I'm a former relief pitcher. I look at it as you're getting into scoring position, and really nobody's holding you on defensively to prevent you from stealing. So therefore, you know, you're taking advantage of things.
And the way I look at it is that Klein should have made sure he got Torrealba out, and then Torrealba's not at first base. I see what you're saying, but I thought it was an overreaction.
I'll just say this. I'll say this. It's a different thought process.
Ball 4.
In the locker rooms and dugouts of different teams, and it's a different thought process at the big league level than it is at any other level in baseball. That there's certain etiquette. Just because if it's reversed and you're up 15-1 and you steal to say you're not supposed to stop trying. Same thing. I mean, you just don't keep trying to rub in or catch up on things.
That part of it I do understand.
It's just the side of baseball that it doesn't happen.
Kaz Matsui 0 for 3 and a sacrifice.
But I will tell you, as a relief pitcher, when you do put yourself into a predicament and hit guys and do things, you better be able to work your way out of it, or your earned run average is going to blow out of the sky. And right now, he's worked his way into a bases loaded 2-out situation.
Outside on Matsui, 1-1. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning as the Rockies leave them loaded against Steve Klein. 6-1.
SN Live Chevy postgame report.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Aaron Cook still out there. Fred Lewis will lead things off. Rockies trying to win 4 straight ball games. For the first time this year, it'll match their longest win streak the last couple of years. As you're probably aware if you follow the Rockies, they're the only team in the big leagues the last 2+ years not to have a winning streak longer than 4 games.
You don't have anything to worry about Cookie here. His pitch count's not anything to get really worried about because he's had some pretty easy innings. He's at 98 here in the 8th. What I'm concerned about is cool temperature sitting in the dugout for a long inning. Bases loaded, bench is emptied, about a 15-20 minute sit. Of whether he can get it loose again. He's falling behind 2-0. The Rockies do have Corpus and Affel warming up in the bullpen.
He's had trouble throwing strikes to Fred Lewis tonight. He's walked him twice. 2-1 here. Cook fields his position well. And Lewis the first out. That'll bring up Klesko. Each hour, the surface of the Earth receives enough sunlight to power the world's energy needs for the entire year. That's an Xcel Energy fun fact. Here's another one from Xcel Energy. In the 4th inning of an Indians-Rangers game, Texas outfielder Jose Canseco misplays a drive by Carlos Martinez. The ball, as you may recall, bounces off Canseco's head and goes over the fence for a home run. The Rangers lose the ball game 7-6. One of the more famous bloopers in the last 25 years in the game.
That was pretty funny, wasn't it?
It was. And Klesko's gone on a ground ball to Kaz Matsui. 2 outs in the 8th inning. And Barry Bonds will get his at-bat here. And then I'm sure he's done for the evening, whether he gets on base or not. Barry's 0 for 3. He's hit it on the ground 3 times. Torrealba sets up inside, trying to buy back some real estate. Now he's going to go away. And Cook misses with the location. It's 2-0. Barry's going to go 0 for 4. Cook kept him on the ground. Aaron Cook's 8 dominant innings. The Rockies ahead 6-1 in San Francisco. Well, coming up after the ball game on the post-game show brought to you by Chevy. Tom Helmer and Sam Adams will be in the studio. Aaron Cook got some run support tonight, and he was terrific with his #1 role, and that's throwing the baseball. Steve Klein and Yorvik Torrealba with a little bit of history, and it got interesting last inning. Bonds out. Daniel Ortmeyer comes in. He'll hit in the 9-hole in the double switch. And Vinny Cholk is the new pitcher.
Chalk, a hard right-hander, throws that good hard sinker. Slider to go along with it.
Tonight's call to the bullpen brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. That hits it in the air to right field. Fred Lewis with the catch.
Take a look at the numbers on the season. 20th game for Vinny to appear in. A 1-2 record. Couple of holes, 434 earned run average. 12 strikeouts, walked 5. He's one of those guys when you're down 2 or 3, run him out there. And then when he gets hot, sometimes they'll change. He and Correa out in importance out of the bullpen.
One and one on Todd. Helton looking for his first knock tonight. 0 for 4. He scored a run in the third when he reached on an error. Torrealba and Steve Klein, the center of a dispute last inning. That's when you kind of file away and see if it develops beyond where it is right now. George, going back to the dispute, I hear what you say. I definitely understand your point. I thought you weren't working the ball game. I thought Klein's reaction was over the top in Denver. I mean, his club won 15-2. Be happy with that. You know, he said something to Torrealba. That's fine. But he was still barking about it as opposed to shaking hands and enjoying a one-sided victory.
Well, and again, the game's looked at in different ways from different people. Obviously, he looked at it a certain way that didn't agree with it.
Nobody warming up in the Rockies pen. Looks like Aaron Cook will be given the opportunity to finish this one. 2-2 on Helton. Chevy offers more choices of flex fuel vehicles than anyone. When you drive any of these Chevy flex fuel vehicles, you can help reduce greenhouse emissions and reduce our dependency on foreign oil. Good for the environment, good for the economy, good for Colorado. Chevy, made for Colorado. Three and two. Three and two on Helton. Choke strikes out Helton for the second out.
2 nights in a row, Todd's had a difficult time laying off the high fastball. Last night struck out by the lefty. Now Choke gets him up high with a fastball. See, in a little bit too. That ball away last night. The ball was in above the hands.
Atkins an RBI double in the third, 1 for 4. Last night, the Rockies' 10th come from behind victory of the season. Tonight they trailed 1-0 after 2. They scored 4 in the 3rd and tacked on 2 in the 7th inning on a Matt Holliday single. That's driven in 3 tonight. That's a nasty slider. Rockies hang on tonight. They'll have won consecutive road series for the first time since late June, early July of last year, when they won a road series against the Angels and then went to Seattle and took 2 of 3. Oh, Lewis falls, and Atkins can end up at second.
Just the break you need, right?
Absolutely. You'll take him right now if you're Garrett Atkins any way you can get him. A fly ball double as the spikes didn't grip the turf out there for Fred Lewis.
Yeah, and hopefully he's in spikes too, and not rubber cleats or those hard plastic cleats, because they will not hold as well as metal cleats. But as he floated over to get to that baseball, he was throwing stuff all over the place. Really disappointed. His feet went right out from under him as he started to make that turn. He's scrambling. He's got the cleats on. Scrambling, trying to get to the baseball. Yeah, metal cleats on, not the rubber plastic.
And a line drive by Brad Hopp that shattered his bat and was handled by Feliz. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Rocky, bottom of the 9th inning in San Francisco at AT&T Park. The Rockies 5 up on the Giants. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Aaron Cook will try to get the final 3 outs and throw the Rockies' first complete game of 2007. Colorado, one of 6 teams in the National League without a complete game right now. The others, the New York Mets, the Atlanta Braves, the Washington Nationals, the Florida Marlins, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Two pretty pitch-rich teams you would think would have something out of there. Cook in his career has 4 complete ball game wins. The first was in 03 against San Diego, then in 04 against Arizona. 2 in 05. 1 against Arizona and 1 against the New York Mets, who gets the lead runner here. And Franzen with a ground ball to shortstop.
That'll bring up Benji Molina. Our Gatorade player of the game, Aaron Cook. Ton of ground balls. We show you one of the few balls hit in the air. He got Barry Bonds 4 times, and he kept him in the infield. Aaron Cook dominated from the outset tonight. He did give up a run in the 2nd inning, but he's limited the Giants to 5 hits. 4 singles and a Pedro Feliz ground ball double down the left field line.
108th pitch of the ball game at 91 miles an hour too. So Cook still maintained the velocity, stayed within, and repeated his delivery very well. 91-mile-an-hour fastball back at Molina one more time.
Georgie, I'll steal one of your phrases. He smells the barn right now because he's right back on the rubber and he's pounding the strike zone.
Yeah, you get that way. Your defense expects it. You feel it. I mean, you just want to get this thing over with. You're in a rhythm.
0-2 on Molina. And Aaron's going to run over and tag Molina. 2 outs. Pedro Feliz 2 for 3 tonight. He has 2 of the 5 hits for San Francisco. And this should be the ball game. Good pickup by Atkins. A complete game win for Aaron Cook. 6-1 over the Giants. He throws a complete game 5 hitter. And the Rockies have won 4 straight for the first time in 2007. And it matches their longest winning streak over the last 2+ seasons. Rockies 6, Giants 1. Matt Holliday drives in 3 of the 6. All's good right now for the Rockies. It's their 4th win on this road trip. They've guaranteed themselves a winning trip to a couple of places, George, they rarely have winning trips to. Arizona and San Francisco. 6-1 the final. The FSN Live postgame show starts now.